Hi Scrapbook friends, welcome back to my channel. Virginia here with a new project for the design team of Fantasia di Carta. Today I'm going to share with you a wintry layout which I created using the beautiful collection Freezin Season by Simple Stories. I'm going to use these three fun photos which I shoot in a park in Oslo during holidays a few years ago. And I decided to use as a background this awesome pattern paper with all these cute penguins. My idea is to set the three pictures in a vertical line on the right side of the paper, but I want to add some color to the background, so I'm going to do some mixed media. First of all, I'm spreading some white gesso only in this area where I want my pictures to go, because I don't want to cover all the beautiful background. I just want to fade it a little bit, and I'm using my palette knife and also my fingers to spread the gesso. At this point, I'm going to let the gesso dry, and in the meanwhile, I'm going to work on my pictures to, let's say, prepare them. I want to back them with the main layers of pattern paper, but first I want to attach them together so that I give a unique block, a piece that I can move easily around. And so I'm gluing them to some tissue paper, this white and black polka dots tissue paper, and I glued them partially superimposed a little bit wonky way, so because I want some irregular design, which I think is much more attractive and interesting than just a column of lined up pictures. So and now I'm cutting irregularly again the borders, and as you saw, I used two layers of tissue paper because one might be too thin, a little bit transparent. And now again I'm working on the borders, which I want to be quite wonky and a bit chunky also. Now I'm going to choose the pattern paper which I wanted to use to back my pictures, and I'm cutting just irregular pieces of paper, some rectangles, because I'm not taking precise measurements, because I just wanted to create some wonky frames all around the photos, and I want to include as many of the pattern paper as I can. I particularly love this paper with colored snowflakes, so I will make sure to include it. And now I'm checking how I can set the various pattern paper, but I'm not going to commit for the moment, so I will leave it aside and go back to my background, because in the meanwhile the gesso dried, so now I can apply the color. I'm using the packaging technique, which means that basically I use a piece of plastic, I put some ink or paint on the plastic, then I dilute it with some water and apply the color, adhering directly the plastic onto the background. And as you can see, since I used the gesso, the color doesn't soak through immediately into the paper, and somehow stays on the surface for some time, so it gives me time to move it, to work on it, to mix, maybe dilute more, or even absorb some of it if I think that I apply too much color. And actually you will see me in a few seconds with my paper roll absorbing, removing some of the excess of paint. So I'm trying to bring to the background the same color included in the pattern paper. So basically I'm using two shades of blue. One is a dark grayish blue, and the other one is a sort of teal, which I created mixing two distress oxides. And then I'm using also yellow, some gold, and some pink. I'm using both distress oxide and shimmer paints, which are, as you know, very shimmery and beautiful, and you will be able to see the shimmer in a minute. So now my background is ready. Now back to the photos. I'm going to finally adhere the layers of pattern paper which I created. And as I said, I'm just going to create some wonky frame. So I'm adhering these pieces in a irregular fashion behind the pictures. And I will make sure to have various patterns behind each of the three pictures. Of course, I'm not going to show you the whole process because it takes time, but you get an idea. Now you will see the final result. Here it is. And also here you can see the shimmery of the inks that I used. As embellishments, I want to use many of the chipboards. In particular, I love this snow globe with a little house inside and a cute penguin with a scarf and a cap. So for sure I'm going to use them. At this point, I thought that I wanted to create a sort of fall of colored snowflakes, the snowflake which I cut out from the pattern paper you saw before. A fall of these snowflakes all around the photos. But then I realized that I didn't really like that, so I will leave just a few of the snowflakes. Now I'm cutting one of the 3x6 cards to have a journaling spot to put on the left side of my layout. And with a marker, with a black marker, I'm creating a wonky border all around the edge of the layout. And actually, I'm going to repeat this operation in 1 minute because in the meanwhile, I decided to frame the whole layout with a dark grey sparkly cardstock by Basil. And so I cut about a quarter of an inch from each side, and then I had to make again the border with the marker. Now I'm gluing down some of the elements. I'm adding a few tabs next to the pictures, and as a title I'm going to use Freezin season. This is the name of the collection and is included in the chipboards, and I like it, so I'm using it. I'm also adding a few trees. They are chipboard or stickers. Off camera, I also added some color all around the pictures because I noticed that adding many layers of pattern paper behind them, I basically covered almost all the mixed media area. So I decided to extend it a little bit. And finally, I'm going to add a few phrase stickers. And this is going to conclude my layout. I hope you like it. If you like this video, please give me a thumb up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much and see you in my next video. Bye bye!